You can do it. Take it away first. Thanks.
Hi.
You can survive it.
I'm Juggles.
I'm the dog. She's a little nervous.
We need the mic. Can you hear us?
Yeah, mic.
Cuddles. Let's walk over.
You can do it. It's okay. They're waiting.
Okay. Are we good? Everybody good? Hey, Tim. Put on my front. So I'm supposed to try and convince you all to become resident Sophs.
No.
Well, I'm not supposed to convince you to become a Soph, but I'm going to convince you to become a resident Soph anyway. So I figured the best way to do that, I had one really good reason why I should become a Soph, and then one kind of little anecdote about why I stayed a Soph. The reason is that during O Week, when you go to dance parties and that kind of stuff in Bowl, and everybody's like looking really cool, you can dance however you want. If you've ever seen me dancing during O Week, I look ridiculous, and I'm totally okay with it. And you could all be like that too. That's reason number one. And just a little bit of an anecdote thing. I realized that I became a Soph last year. So I was a Soph last year. And the reason I came back this year was because of one thing that happened, well, a lot of stuff, but really for one reason that happened to me on a Thursday afternoon during orientation week. So I was on my way to class, and I was just passing the Kresge building, and I was looking, and there was this girl standing at that little weird intersection of 3 roads. There's this one girl standing there, and she was just like, I don't know where I'm going. She didn't say that, but she looked like that. And then she saw my sweater and my ridiculous socks, and she ran over to me, and she was just like, I don't know where I'm going. I could tell. She was like, well, let me see your schedule. And she was going to NAPSI 1, and I was going to NAPSI 7, so I was like, oh, I'll show you where to go. So she came with me, and I talked to her, and she ended up being from Essex or something like that, I don't know. But then when we got there, she was just like, oh, thank you so much, and she gave me a hug. And I was like, oh, that's a little bit weird, but okay. And then I walked away, and as I was going down the little hallway there, I thought to myself, and I was like, that's not good. I like not the hug. That's myself. I really helped her. You know, it was just a small little thing, but I like to think that I made her day a little bit easier. Oh, Kels is upset. Anyway, I like to think that I made her day a little bit easier on her, and I felt like it made a bit of a difference. And then from that point forward, I was like, yeah, I'm back. I'll be a Soph again. And I'll pass her to her.
So I'm supposed to convince you all to be resident staff right now? I was a Soph for 2 years, so before any of you were born. And tough crowd. It was the best decision I ever made in my life. I'm just gonna give Tim. I cried, like many of you probably, on my first day here, and I hated everything about this building. And I'm here in my 4th year, so yes, that's what the building does to you, and that's what the team does to you. A reason why I became a Soph was when I was in first year, believe it or not, we did not have Sophs on every floor. In fact, there were a lot of floors that didn't have Sophs at all. I was lucky enough to have a Soph, but unfortunately some people, just like Kayla over there, didn't have a Soph. Believe it or not, I know some of us have 2 Sophs now, some of us have 1. But back then, way back when, we only had 1, or none. And I made a promise to myself that I never want to see a floor that didn't have any Sophs, because in my opinion, Sophs are the people that shape who you are, and they're the people, when you graduate, they're the people that you're going to remember when you get your diploma, and potentially when you're talking to your children about your attending rate card, you're going to be like, my Soph was there. So yeah, I definitely remember my Soph and how amazing he was. And after my first year experience, I loved it so much that I decided to come back for a second year, when we had a team of like 55 people, and there were more than 1 Soph per floor, and it was absolutely amazing. And I can probably attest to all these beautiful faces over here that don't agree with me that it was probably the best thing that they've ever done. Just think about it this way. You can always be a faculty Soph, but if you don't become a faculty Soph, you won't be missed. But if you don't become a resident Soph, well, you won't be missed.
I didn't say that.
I did. But if you don't become a resident Soph, there might be Frost that don't have a Soph next year. Just think about it that way. There are always enough faculty Sophs to go around, but there's never enough resident Sophs. Okay? So think about the number 72.
Woo!
That's her actual voice.
Sophomore here. Okay, so she was my sophomore this year. Well, whatever, you're both now. Anyway, and then we moved to Frost last year, and I became Sophs, and I'm really proud of it. Anyway, okay, so I don't really know what to talk about. I'm really nervous, but basically, 2 years ago, I would have been able to come up here and talk to you guys, probably just in the other way. So, not only had experience like company growth, but it also allowed me to make a ton of amazing friends that'll probably, you know, I'll stay friends with for a really long time, I hope. So, and then, okay, I was on Tulare last year, so that was quite the experience, and I decided to come back and see what this year had in store for me. And now I'm on my upper, and I absolutely adore all my friends.
Go down that first.
I don't. It's just. It's an unforgettable experience. It's life-changing, I would say, at least for me. And I don't know. I don't think you get to live with 35 other people anytime other than university. I don't know. Yeah.
Isn't she adorable? Where the hell are my keys? Alright, so